2012. Anyone over the age of 25 remembers that it's one of the best years in gaming. Far Cry 3, Mass Effect 3, Diablo 3, Jesus, there was a lot of threes. But then there was a genre-defining game, Borderlands 2. September of 2012, this chef's kiss of a game hit stores and was named Game of the Year in a year where game devs weren't asking how do we legally rob these people, but how do we get people to stop doing crime just so they can play our game more. The real question is why do people still play this game? Is it a good game, or are people nostalgic for simpler times where game devs weren't trying to steal your parents' entire credit score? I mean, it's had more than 2,500 average daily players for the past month according to Steam charts, while most of the other games from 2012 hold an average of less than half of this. You can still see amazing content being made for this game on YouTube from creators like Joltzdude, LilGasMask, Mick, and SpuddyCube. But that doesn't comment on the game itself, just that some people play it, so let's get into what the game actually provides and what people might actually find is good. Starting with the first thing you'll see when you enter the game, the art style. Is it good? Some people, they might say no. These people, they need to reevaluate their life because they probably put their milk in before the cereal. And I don't care what game you like, but it needs to look more like this. Minecraft, Call of Duty, Fortnite. Well, Fortnite kind of looks like this. Never mind, Fortnite, objectively beautiful game. But Borderlands 2 holds a distinct art style. While not muddy with visuals with, say, too many effects for the guns, thankfully Borderlands doesn't do that at all. The character designs are simplistic but easily identified, even in the craze of a gunfight where someone's firing two nukes at the same time, and while also being varied enough to where you're not fighting the same exact enemy over and over for the entire game. This leads us into the next big part of the game. Player characters. These little spots of sunshine that definitely don't look like they climbed straight out of a trap house are called Vault Hunters. You have 6 to choose from with 3 different skill trees, so I don't need to be a math magician to see that there's about 3.625 billion different ways to play every single character. You want to pretend it's Call of Duty? Play Axton. Be as soldier as a soldier can get. You want Warframe? 0. Space Ninja. Done. You feel like watching somebody else play? Pick Gage and just let Deathtrap do all the work. With 6 characters to choose from, you can really play however you want, but we all know if you've never played, you're just going to pick Creed, set yourself on fire, and then jump in the middle of 15 bandits and get rid of your gun to cut people down with his buzz axe because,
I'm the conductor of the poop train!
If you don't happen to pick the Flaming Psycho, then the next thing you'll worry about is the guns. Because this definitely isn't Hello Kitty Island Adventure. There are more than 76.3 guns in Borderlands 2. You got small guns, big guns. You have enough guns for Dr. Seuss to write an entire novel about. So you might ask, Sleepy, what guns are good and what guns are bad? And that's an excellent question. And a genius like me would tell you, but I have absolutely no idea. Hell, you could be like me and put multiple hundreds of hours into this game and not know the names of a single gun. Or you can be like the aforementioned content creators and memorize what gun stock belongs to what company and the stats attached to it. But I'll be the first to tell you, you don't have to do that. I mean, SpuddyCube has beaten the entire game with the starting pistol, and LilGasMask have beaten the game with a gun that actually doesn't shoot at what you're aiming at. So don't look for a meta in these games. Find a gun that gives you the same feeling as a rock getting thrown into a river from the top of a bridge, and just use that. Now we've talked about the characters you can use and the guns you can use, and let's talk about the NPCs. Are they good? Are they bad? Do they make you want to speed run your way to the IRL game over screen? Well, put it this way, Game Rant put the 10th best character in the series as a guy who has like 4 lines of dialogue. The game has had some incredibly iconic characters that will stick with you for years. The main antagonist, Handsome Jack, he'll make you laugh while also wanting to feed him feet first into a wood chipper. The dialogue in this game is so good, it makes you wonder how they managed to really just fuck up Borderlands 3 and then strap a cinder block around the ankles of the movie and throw that onto the ocean. These characters will make you feel all the emotions during your playthrough. I'm not monetized, so that's a money back guarantee. Now that I've ranted and raved about the dialogue, you might think, oh boy, the story must be the cat's whole pajamas. Well, not to put you down like old Geller, but the story's alright. Passing, but definitely not the best in the world. You spend a lot of time doing a lot of things that are kind of just asked of you but don't make much sense. So no spoilers for this 13-year-old game, but at one point you're tasked to get air support to assault a building that only has anti-air turrets and like 5 ground troops. I'd highly recommend just turning your brain off, maybe setting it to low heat while you play. Otherwise you might actually start to notice that there are more than a few cracks in the pavement. It's definitely not The Last of Us, but it's also not, like Rise of Kong. You remember that fucking game from 2023? I'd give it a should have gotten a sequel within 5 years out of 7. Hope that makes a modicum of sense. So if the story's okay, what is the thing that'll keep you playing this game? Well, let me introduce you to the original Loot Explosion. I've had sexual relations with at least one woman, and it's good, but it's not Borderlands 2 Loot Explosion good. Whether the guns are white, blue, or sweet, sweet gold, it just makes you wanna,
Oh yeah.
That is where this really hits that tantalizing feel-good center of your brain, and why a decent amount of people still play this game 13 years later. Imagine you show up with a pistol, fire America's defense budget and bullets in this guy, and then leave with enough guns that go boom to look like a group that I'm not gonna insult because I don't want a pipe bomb in my mailbox. There really aren't many feelings in gaming that are better than this. So, I like to think that is why people still really enjoy this game. The gunplay, the dialogue's fun, some iconic NPCs, the variability of playstyles with all the different vault tenders is just chef's kiss. Borderlands 2 can give many, many hours of fun for just one single payment, without having to look up guides, builds, or any of that bullshit. It's just pure, simple fun from a time where game developers wanted to actually give you a quality product. Of course, it could also be that there are only about 4 good looter shooters, but that's a discussion for another time. If you like what you saw, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz, and if you didn't like it, there's a thumbs down button and a comment section for you to complain to me, but, have fun with what you want to do. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.